So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take raw data for an interval level variable, use a named range to calculate the appropriate measures of central tendency. Now, what do I mean by a named range, and what do I mean by raw data? Okay, so in other examples, we've looked at frequency distributions, and we know that if we were to, for example, count up all the number of 12s in this data set, so here there's 2, and there may be more, I think it looks like there's just 2 12s. So we would have our label over here of 12, and we would have the number in that category, 2. But when we just have raw data, it actually makes things a little easier for us to calculate these measures of central tendency. And the three that we can use, because we have an interval level variable, are the mode, the median, and the mean, or the average. So first of all, I'll show you what I mean by creating a named range. So far we've been using formulas and had to put in the references all the time. So we know that our data goes from A4 all the way down to A28. We would have had to have selected that each time. But what we can do with a named range is to actually just do that one time. Select the range, Shift Control down, and up here in the name box, I can give this range a name. So let's look at our variable here. Our variable is number of cigarettes smoked yesterday. So let's say cigs. Enter. Now you can see that when I have this data selected, cigs appears. Any other cells or anything else, it's not cigs. Okay. Shift down, it's not cigs. Shift all the way down. Let go of the shift button. Cigs. Okay, so this data set right here, this range of data, I can use this name from now on, cigs, because I've specified it in the name box. So this is what's called a named range. Okay, a named range. Now to calculate the mode, we just use this formula right here for the mode. So equals mode, mode dot single, hit the tab button to select it. And now I can just type in, instead of going through all the numbers or selecting them, I can just type in cigs. And it has it there. It has that I can select cigs. It knows what cigs is, because I've specified it up there. Okay. Enter. That's it. Now what is this telling me? What is the mode? The mode is telling me that among the smokers, the most common number of cigarettes smoked yesterday was 14. So there are more 14s in this distribution than any other number. That's what the mode is telling us. It's not that most people smoked 14 cigarettes, but it's the most common number of cigarettes that were smoked. So the difference is important. The next one is the median, and as you might have guessed by now, the formula is just equals median. And now I can type in cigs. So the median also is 14. So the median is telling us something different. A median of 14 indicates that an equal number of smokers smoked fewer than 14 cigarettes each day as smoked more than 14 cigarettes. I'll just put yesterday here, just because that's what the data is telling you. But presumably, by asking a question like this, it would be on a typical day, but they would ask them yesterday due to methodological reasons, because they would remember yesterday better. So 14 indicates that an equal number of smokers smoked fewer than 14 cigarettes yesterday as smoked more than 14 cigarettes. So the same number under 14 as there are over 14. That's what the median is telling you. Now the average is just average, and we can type in our named range, SIGS. Now the average of 13.4 is telling us that the people in the sample smoked an average of 13.4 cigarettes yesterday. That's what the average or the mean is telling you. What was the average? And that's a pretty commonly understood term. The average is just adding up all of these and dividing by the total number of cases. That's all it's doing. Now the skew is essentially a comparison of the median and the average. And if the average is below the median, like in this case, that indicates a negative skew. So since the mean of 13.4 is less than the median, which I calculated here, 14, this means that the distribution is negatively skewed. There are some people in the sample who smoke very few cigarettes yesterday. And this is what pulled the mean down. So that's typically what happens when you have a negatively skewed distribution. There's a few people, you can see most of these are in the tens, right? So 17, 14, the teens. Okay, then we also have some people 3, 4, 6, and a 5 in this distribution. And these people are what's essentially pulling this distribution down. So that's it. So I've just shown you how to calculate the mode, the median, and the average from raw data, and also discuss skew and interpret each measure.